Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Alula Mena. I'm the current president. We have another alumni here with us, Brittany Wheeler. She has been at UNLV since 2007, from 2007 to 2012, majoring in mechanical engineering. Next year, she started as associate rotational engineer at Collins Aerospace and grew to manufacturing engineering. Currently, she's holding the senior manager of program operations. Brittany, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you for taking the time and taking the time out of your day to come talk to us. Really means a lot. Appreciate you.
Thanks
Um,
for having me.
Definitely, thank you. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, such as where you were born, where you grew up, and what your current hobbies are.
Um, I am from Los Angeles, California, so I am a West Coast girl. I currently reside in San Diego working for Collins Aerospace, which is a Raytheon Technologies company. So I work for Raytheon. Um, a little bit about me. I guess is I love the beach, hence the San Diego. I love the sunshine. I love the West Coast weather. It never rains in Southern California. Um, but my hobbies are skating. I love skating, and it's roller skating. It's like the whole roll, bounce, feel. I love skating. That's a passion of mine. And also another hobby, I wouldn't say it's a hobby or a passion of mine, is giving back. I have a nonprofit called Greater Than Tech that's located in San Diego, California, and it's dedicated to teaching young girls of color engineering and business concepts. So we basically kind of take it a step further of teaching STEM. We also teach them how to be leaders. And so that's kind of my hobbies and a little bit about me.
That's amazing. We definitely need to talk about that, and hopefully, like, try to bring it to Las Vegas as well. Open another branch, because it really directly ties to what NSBE stands for, right? Creating that
Mhm.
pipeline of staying from pre-kindergarten and then college level and professional. So, thank you so much. That's amazing. Actually, it's my first time hearing about it. So,
Oh, no problem.
yeah, thank you. Definitely gonna bring it to Las Vegas. We started saying you're a mechanical engineering student. Why did you pick
Yes.
that major?
I came for a college visit, and I knew I wanted to do aerospace. And I also know how aerospace could be up and down in the field, especially when you get into kind of the NASA route. So I wanted kind of the flexibility to be able to jump to different industries. And mechanical was the best route to do that. In mechanical, you can be in aerospace, you can be in automotive, you can be in, kind of chemical, you kind of can do anything with mechanical. And I wanted that flexibility to be able to do that. So that's why I chose it.
Sounds very good. Like what rounder do you have many
Yeah.
options? Yeah, that sounds very good. Um, how did you first heard of NSBE and how did you get interested in it to end up joining?
So, two ways I first heard of NSBE, I was on campus. One is through a friend. Um, I heard about it. And then another was through the president at the time. He bribed me with pizza. So they're saying, oh, we have a NSBE meeting, a general body meeting, and there's going to be pizza. And I'm like, I'm a starving student eating macaroni and cheese. So I'm like,
Definitely,
be there if there's pizza.
that's the best way to.
So it was more so the president at the time just walking around, passing out flyers and asking people to go to the general body meeting on Thursday because ours was every Thursday.
Yeah, that's a surefire way of bringing students. And taste it out. Definitely, nothing like free food for college students. The best thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had me at pizza.
Oh yeah, I agree. I've done it too. Um, did you assume a leadership role? If so, tell me about your role.
So when I joined NSBE, it was at the tail end, and I really wanted to go to a conference, and it was a fall regional conference. So they were like, oh, you can go, but you have to be a senator and vote for the chapter. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. So even when I first started out, I was a senator, and it was to go to the fall regional conference. So I did assume roles, but throughout my NSBE career and just falling in love with NSBE, I did grow within my leadership. So I was the senator. then was secretary for the chapter, and then I did president for the chapter, and then
Wow.
president emeritus, and as well. And then I went on to do regional secretary. So I did have some regional, roles, I guess, but I stayed with NSBE. It was good to me. So I wanted to be good to NSBE.
That's amazing. You even like went above and beyond, like into the. I've heard regional can be like hectic because you're dealing with a lot of schools from located like very far away geographically and time zones and different cultures of people. So that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah, kudos. Um, what was your favorite part about your role? You can talk about any role, pretty much, or all of them.
Um,
What
I
excited
think
you the most?
I think my favorite part was probably when I was president and my vice president was a really dear friend. I liked creating vision for the chapter and also the event planning and aspects. I'm very goal oriented. So we were out there fundraising because of course we need funding. So we did sold fireworks and those different type of things to come up with ways for finding money or coming up with ways to do everything. So I like that aspect of it, of the role, is really creating the vision and executing that vision, and kind of it's your own.
I can really relate to that. Thank you so much. Um, what do you see as the biggest accomplishment in your role?
I think the biggest accomplishment in any role is someone came after me. Because I think when you're a leader, you're supposed to, have a succession plan or have someone that comes after you. To be able to say that NSBE, is carried on after you is really big. So I think that's a big success to me, is that I'm able to talk to you today.
That is great. That is great because I feel exactly the same way. My I'm leaving next year, but my team that I have now, I'm confident in leaving Nasby with the most capable hands. So I can really relate. Thank you so much. Um, and that's kind of worrisome if you think about it, right? Like who's gonna keep the vision, who's gonna keep the torch, and I really relate. Um, what do you like most about Nasby?
Um, I'm going to say what I liked most about UNLV NSBE, and then I'll tell you what I liked most about NSBE as an organization.
Sounds good.
What I liked most about UNLV NSBE at the time, I attended school, is that we were a family. We kind of did everything together, laughed, cried, took tests together, studied together. It was a real family oriented feel. And also we went through struggles together. So, if I had, I did bad on a test and, one of the members did good. It was like talking to them on, what I can do better and studying. So I think the best thing that I liked about UNLV NSBE was the family feel, that I had somebody to support me and had somebody to go through the journey with me. And NSBE in general, I love the fact that it's a student-ran organization. It gives the students the power to run the organization and to get leadership skills. I feel like without NSBE, I wouldn't have been able to be a senior manager. I have that leadership skills in me. Within going into my company, they're called employee resource groups. We're kind of like, you can think of them as organizations within the company, affinity groups like the African American group or something like that. And I got involved in that because of the history I had with NSBE. So it was a passion of mine. So I think in NSBE in general is that they put the power into the students to run the organization.
That's beautiful. Thank you. How would you describe the state of Nasby in your time? Probably UNLV Nasby.
During my time, I think I would say the same thing, was family oriented. And the one thing that I like, and I think it's still to this day, is we work hard and play. So it's like we are really about our business, but we do enjoy ourselves as students. So I like the balance between the two. We're all trying to graduate, but we all are trying to, enjoy life and what it has to bring to us. Because tomorrow's never promised. So I love that aspect of the balance between the two is so we may have a NSBE event and then go to dinner after or something like that is we still can do something.
Yeah, like that is something that we want to achieve, right? Bring that tight connection, being like a family, real friends, and that's definitely our goal. Thank you so much.
Oh, no
If
problem.
knowing what you know now, I guess if you go back, what would be one thing that you would improve?
I think one thing I would approve, and I'm just going to say on my part, I wouldn't change anything about UNLV NSBE or NSBE in general, because I think it's successful. And the fact that it's able to sustain throughout the years, it's whatever they're doing right. But what I would change is my intentions and my relationships within the NSBE members, the UNLV members, as well as my intentions with the whole organization. I feel like I could have did more. And I also wish that I had more communication with past members or communication with, the past UNLV or regional members to see how they're doing right now. I do talk to some, but I wish I could talk to more. So I'll be more intentional in my relationships.
Thank you so much. That's a note to us, definitely, and that's what we have to
Yeah,
learn from you. Yeah, thank
it's
you.
it's very easy to get caught up in life, and it's not on purpose, it's on accident. For after school you're just glad you got the job, you're trying to work, you're moving to another place. It's really hard to keep in touch and have intentional relationships, so I feel like I would put that more in the forefront than the back of my mind so I won't lose that.
Thank you so much. Um, what's your biggest hope for the next decade in NSB? In what ways do you expect it to grow? Expect or wish
um,
to grow?
the biggest hope is it continues to do what it does and it never dies. And i think in I think I would just say it just continues. I wouldn't change anything specifically about Nesby. And I just hope that if I had to pick something, it gets bigger, right? I hope that
Mhm.
well known. I walking down the street, I hope people know that Nesby. I just hope the name gets even bigger if I was to choose something. But it's if it wasn't for Nesby, I wouldn't have my job. So I think it should continue to do what it does in providing opportunities to students and provide more opportunities, more partnerships. So only to keep it alive.
Right on. We hope to celebrate the 40th and the 50th anniversary.
Yes, 50,
Yeah,
100,
definitely.
200, to keep celebrating all of the years of sustainability.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. Thank you. Um, the following questions are like kind of about you personally. What would be one thing you wish you knew before you joined the professional world?
Ooh, I think one thing I wish I knew is that the journey doesn't end when I get the job. It only shifts gears and continues to a new goal. Because I remember being in school, like all I need is a job, all I need is a paycheck, and I'm set. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and I don't need nothing. No more news for me. But when you get into the professional world, it's totally different. You have more to look forward to. You have managers, you have directors who are, in certain positions, you have different departments you want to go to. There's so much you can learn. So I wish I wasn't so narrow-minded going in. I was more optimistic. So I think that's one of the things that I wish I knew going in. I definitely switched gears throughout the beginning of the years, but I wish going in that's something that I kind of knew. So I'm now that I'm senior manager, I'm like, no, I need to be director. The journey never stops. I started off as an employee or as a rotational, someone coming out of NSB. Now, okay, I got manager. No, I want senior manager. Okay, now I want a director. So the journey never ends.
Thank you so much. That's a key advice for us because we go to school, we go to like our exams, assignments, and go home. We don't see like the outside, or we think the end goal is like get a job and that's it. We don't see what lies behind beyond that first um step, which we think is going to be the last step, but now you're saying
Yeah, I
only the
thought it was the
beginning.
last.
Yeah,
You're totally right. It's the beginning of a whole new world, and it shifts gears. And not only, within myself is I'm like, okay, I have a professional, career, but I want to do more. And that's why I got into the whole nonprofit and doing something that gives back to, girls of color in San Diego. So I'm like, no, I have to be doing more and developing the pipeline.
I agree, 100%. Thank you so much. That's a key insight, and that's the whole point of, I guess, me. What I think about the best thing that I've gained from NSBE is trying to see, okay, what's the next step? What's beyond school? And thank you so much. It really helps.
Yeah, and some people are not like that. Some people are content with this certain job when they reach a certain, I guess you can say, a certain position in their career. They're okay with that. I'm the type of person, I always have to have something to look forward to or to work towards. So I'm never comfortable. So it just really depends on the type of person you are. So my advice may not work for everybody. It's just learn where you want to know where you want to be in your career to work towards that and make it so you're still learning and still learning new things and you're not stagnant.
100% works for me. Thank you so much. What has been, I guess it's like an inverse of the previous question, but what has been your biggest lesson learned so far in the professional world?
And that's a good question. I think the biggest lessons learned, and I learned it later, is that a network is really powerful. You need a network, you need mentors, you need advocates in order for you to excel in your career trajectory or your career journey, because they're the ones that are going to help you and bend the place that you are trying to go. They're going to offer advice for you. They're going to offer like a certain maybe jobs. They're going to act as kind of your reference. When someone says, hey, is Brittany a good employee? They're going to hit my mentor up and say, hey, is she a good employee? And they're going to vouch for me and be that advocate. So I think that's one of the things that I'm like, man, I should have learned that earlier. And instead of later, I have it, but I wish I would have got it earlier.
Thank you so much. It goes back to, again, like the use of NSBE, right? Learn how to make meaningful connections
Yes.
and maintain it too. I feel like that's even like another level that I just learned. It's not about starting the networking again, but just keeping, just maintaining throughout the year and making it like a healthy relationship as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you so much. Last but not least, can you identify key attributes that were needed in your professional development journey?
Yes, throughout my professional development journey, I would say key attributes that, helped me along the way is I'm a really good communicator. So communication was key. Even if you're a quiet person, you need to communicate and you need to be able to articulate the job, articulate the task, or articulate yourself to different people. You may be talking to a technical person, you may be talking to a non-technical person, so you can't get technical. You have to be able to communicate into people's listenings. So I feel like the fact that I am a good communicator helped me along that journey. Of course, it got better. And I've been, now more intentional. Now I have, I'm able to have certain conversations, and I have a level of emotional intelligence. So, but I think is communication, networking. So developing those relationships, being intentional, being transparent. I'm a very transparent person. If I don't know something, I will tell you, but I will also tell you I will find out, or I'll try my best to answer that question. So I'm very transparent. And the last thing is, when I think about it, is I have a level of, I'm optimistic. So I'm in risk avert. So I can look at the good and the bad in something and also make a plan to address it. So I'm not to a point where I'm like, oh, this is going to happen no matter what. And I'm also not a point is this is never going to happen. So I'm a great balance between the two and looking at the risk. So I think those are really key attributes that helped me in my professional development, and I actually developed in my personal journey. So I don't say is I didn't have every single one of them starting off, but I did develop a level of each and every one of them. They're not all top tier and crisp, but I will say is I have some level of them and they helped me succeed.
Thank you so much. Communication, networking, tolerance of risk or risk calculation, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that those are huge. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. As you know, we're celebrating our 30th year anniversary.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. If it hasn't been for you, like we wouldn't be here. So like
It's not just me, it's for everybody. There was past
yeah.
and alumni that were key. They're the reasons why I'm here talking to you is they helped me and developed me. And I feel like it's you. So you're also part of it. It's everyone who was, key into that. And it's not just the presidents, it's everyone who was on the board. So some people who are very involved in NSBE but weren't a president or weren't, did not have the VP title or the 4 key position titles, but very instrumental in the success of NSBE. So I feel like anyone who joined NSBE, even the members to keep it alive, it's the reason why we're talking today.
I 100%.
We have a 30th anniversary.
Yes, let's go. And like even though we couldn't celebrate it right now in person, but we definitely will plan to celebrate it in the fall semester of 2021. Hopefully you can come. Hopefully your friends can come.
Yes.
Because we want to celebrate you. It's like if it wasn't for you, really,
let's celebrate us. How about us?
Definitely, and definitely like us a whole as a NSBE family, and we even have the founder of NSBE,
Wow.
NSBE, that is Dr. Eugene McGaw.
Yes, Dr. McGaw.
Yeah, we even found the first president, the first member of UNLV NSBE, and the first president technically, Dave Dragon. So seeing that is like having that lineage goes where you're technically like our ancestors, right? The people who passed the torch to us, and there's so much valuable uh invaluable wisdom really to learn from you, and to see your struggles, what you have gone through, and see you successful professional goes. uh, that's again one of the key values of NSBE, right? To see people who look like us be successful engineers in higher leadership positions as well. So it will inspire students like us to to want to work and to feel like we belong in the engineering world as well. Um, Thank you so much.
No
Appreciate
problem. And thanks for having me. And hopefully I get to celebrate with everyone in the fall, but I appreciate it.
it's our pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope we see you if you're watching this. Hope we see you in the fall of semester, fall 2021. Thank you.